slots as well. Now, if you see the URL here, this runs on the 8899 port of your machine. So you'll be able to access this with the localhost URL. Now we'll just run it first and we'll see what it shows. See, it shows something like we saw in the previous one, but this one, http://127.0.0.1:8899 is the localhost point for your system, and you'll be able to access it. You can see the processed and confirmed slots are going pretty fast. So we'll just minimize this now. Now just know that the local net is running. Now we'll get this done quickly. We'll be creating a key pair and we'll be saving it. And then we'll be creating two actually, and we'll be saving it locally. The folder for it is keychain. Last time we created the key pair using fs.write file sync. It automatically created the file, but it does not create a folder. So we must create the folder early on, and then I'm deleting a few older ones so that we can do it again. Yeah, so it once you provide it the folder name, it's going to do it. Now I'm doing it with save key pair to file, a function that I've written. We'll take a look at it. So here's the function. It takes the key pair, it takes the file name, it takes the directory name, that is where it is, and it takes a serial. The serial is a number that attaches to the file name at the end, and that helps us identify each key pair. And this part, these two lines make sure that the directory exists and they create the name of the file. So it just appends the file name and serial. It creates a JSON file. That's simple. And it does a simple write sync file, which we discussed in the previous one, and it returns the key pair. So let's see. We provide it the necessary items. Key pair is what we generate here. Then the new key pair is the name. The serial is going to get attached to new key pair, so the file is going to be called new key pair. Serial is 1 here, so new key pair 1, and it's going to be saved in the folder or directory keychain. Keychain is right here, and then we are going to see a console log of this new key pair set to key pair, save key pair to file. Then it's going to use key pair that we just generated here, and it's going to console log its public key, and it's also going to console log its secret key because we're doing it locally, so don't bother. And then comes get key pair. Let's see what it does. It also takes new key pair, and it takes keychain, it takes serial, so it takes roughly the same things. And this one is going to get us our key pair from this keychain folder once it's generated. Let's see how it works. It uses a simple read file, fs.read file. It does a similar attaching the name with the serial, and then it looks for that file name, and it converts. It takes a secret key, parses it, converts it into a uint array, and then what it returns is a key pair dot from secret key, and it puts that secret key in here. So what we get in return is the whole key pair object with the public key and the private key. Now let's see that in action. And what it console logs here is key pair fetch dot get key pair. So it's just indicating that it uses the get key pair function, and it does kp. Kp is our key pair, public key to base 58. So we are console logging key pair public key here, and we are using kp public key here, so we can make sure that the file that got generated and the file that we get from the file are the same. This file gets generated and gets saved, and then this fetches that file, and we just make sure by console logging both that they are the same. Now we'll just do a console log on a different terminal. I ran the test validator on one terminal. I'll be doing the other things. Just clear it up. I'll do a yarn ts node index dot TS. Now you can see this keychain folder is empty. Once I run that, and the serial here, I'll just minimize this. The serial number here is 1. So we should see a file with the serial number 1 here now created. Running it now. We see new Keypair 1 created, and we can see the file. It's an array of numbers. It's a secret key as we saw in previous videos. I'll just increase this one a little bit. Let's see what is console logged. So this one is from the Keypair generate. This is the public key, and this one is from the get Keypair. This is the same public key, so it does our job. Let's just close these files right now. Let's do let's run one more time with the serial number 2 and get one more Keypair. So the new public key EU something something something, and it's the new Keypair here. We'll close it for now, and now we'll close the get Keypair function as well. Now we shall see how we can fund the local wallet. Now these addresses are just addresses, but until they are funded, they don't exist on our local net. Only when they get funded for the first time, the accounts, the addresses actually become accounts. So let's get to that. I'll just close the terminal here. Let's look at what we are doing here. Let me rewrite this program for you. Yeah. So we'll be importing we imported two things, connection and lamport per sol. We'll be importing the get Keypair from our own folder, and then connection will be creating a connection variable, which is a new connection. This will establish a connection to our local host. Let's do a HTTP first. HTTP:// and we know the port. Let's check it once again. It's 8899, so let's do that. Now we'll create a function. Let's call it fund local wallet, and here what we'll do is now we are referring to this connection variable that we created, connection dot request airdrop. Now let me hover over this request airdrop, and we shall see. This shows us how the code should work. So we have a connection, we need a public key, and this connection.request airdrop takes my address, which is a public key, and lamports per sol, which we have imported from Solana web3.js. So let's call it KP here for Keypair, and get Keypair. Let's do a new Keypair for the name of the file, keychain for the name of the folder or directory, and let's do 1 for the serial. And as we know, this one requires only the public key, so let's do kp.public key, and the next one is lamports per sol. This one would be for 1, so let's get 10 lamports per sol. And let's hover over it again. As you can see, after the signature, it does an await connection confirm transaction, and it puts a signature there that confirms that the transaction has happened. So let's do that as well. Confirm transaction, signature, and then we are going to do a dot then. And we're going to do a console log of the transaction once it has been confirmed. So let's see. I already have a URL. Give me a minute. So this is the URL of Solana Explorer. Let's do a tx slash this one is a transaction signature. We may call it signature, we may call it transaction. We're calling it signature for this one, and this one is going to give us a link of the transaction that we can check on Solana Explorer. So now that it's done, let's close the function. Is it closed? It is closed. Let's call the function fund local wallet. Now since we are getting the Keypair 1, new Keypair 1 here, so it's going to fund our local Keypair wallet. So let's see. This is the public key for the Keypair, so we will be able to check this one. Let me just copy it, and then let us just run. Let's run local wallet. Local wallet is inside helper, so let's get it. Ver helpers helpers.localwallet.ts helpers he. Let me spell it right. Helpers local wallet. It should run. It provides me something. Let's see. So this one shows the transaction. So this transaction happened from this address to this address, and this address of ours has. So let's just click at this address. It just copies. So we'll just open one more. And we'll search it here. As you can see, this is our local net. I'll just open one more window for you. Let's go to home, and we should see it's running. This shows you the slot. This is changing. Live transaction stats are going on, moving on. Let's look at the account here. This account of ours now has 10 sol. Remember this from our console log. And this is a transaction that did it. Let's look at what token it holds. It doesn't since it holds just Solana, so it doesn't show anything else. We are back on VS Code now. Remember this key pair that we saw over there. This is what got funded. So let's check that. Let me see. So we just checked it on our CLI and now it has some balance. Let's look at the balance on the other key pair. Let's see if it has anything. Solana balance. This one has 0 sol because it has not been funded. Let's fund that too. All we have to do here is to change the serial number. This is going to fetch that from our keychain and then it's going to fund that one. Let's fund this one with 5 so we can be sure, or let's be very precise, 5.2436, and let's see how much do we get. Let's go here. Let's run our old command, ts node helpers local wallet.ts. It takes its time. It would take a little longer on DevNet because it just shows that the network takes some time to airdrop. Now it looks like we got the transaction URL, but let's just check now. Last time we did this, we got 0. Let's do a Solana balance check, and we have exactly 2456, exactly what we asked. 2456. Let's now check on Solana Explorer. So we are on Solana Explorer right now. Let's just search for our account. Give me a minute. And now we see it on our local net since it has been funded. And we see one transaction here and we see 5.2456 here. Now we'll do one more test. Let us create an account. So I'll be running index.ts and we are going to change the serial to 3. So we are going to create another key pair, but we are not going to fund it, and we are going to try to find that public key on the local net on Solana Explorer. So we have a key pair here. And you can see, let's just copy it from here, from the CLI, and we'll try to search it. Let's see. So it has 0 bytes. Account does not exist. You can see it here. The account does not exist. So we'll do it one more time. We'll be generating a new key pair. I'm on VS Code and I'll be running index.ts right now. And we've generated this one. Here is a public key. Let us see its balance. Its balance is 0. Now let's see if it shows up on Solana Explorer at all. Here we are on Solana Explorer. Let's see if this new key pair that we created, does this public key show up on Solana Explorer? Most likely not. So it does show up when you run it locally, but the balance row shows that the account does not exist. Now let's fund the same account and see what it does. Here we'll be funding the third key pair that we generated by the name, it's here at new key pair 3. Let's fund it with just by changing the serial number in our local wallet.ts file, and I should fund it. Now let's just run helpers.localwallet.ts. This should fund it, and it should also provide us a URL. Now let's check. It has been funded with 5.2456. Let's fund it again. Let's add 2 more souls here. So it should be 7 point something. So let's do it again. Taking its time. Let's go and check if the status of the balance has changed or not. We are back on Explorer. We see that the same address showed account does not exist. Let me just copy the address just for the sake of safety. Let's just refresh the page. And now you see the balance is 7.2456 and it is active, and you see 2 transactions because we did it 2 times, once 5.2456 and other time 2. So let's look at the transactions. Let's look at the first one. Let's see what it did. It added 2 souls, so this is the transaction that happened later. And let's go back. Let's look at the next one, the older one, which happened 2 minutes ago. And this one added 5.2456. Let me zoom in so that you can clearly see it's 5.2456. And the other one was, let me just, success, and it added just 2 souls. This is the symbol for souls, and it came from this address. Moving on, the next thing that we're going to see in a following video, because this one has become a long video, is how we can transfer soul. The code here uses the get keypair, and it uses 2 times. Let me just change the value here. So we remember that our keypair 2, or the address 2, the account 2, has around 5.2456, and this one has 7.2456. So when we do a transfer, after understanding how this works, we shall see the change in their balances, and we shall see more transaction in the transaction history of both accounts. Now we'll be closing this video and we'll get to the next video. There we'll be exploring how this code works. Thank you.